So when we talk about passive investing and the operators, the people running the deal, a lot of the way that they make their money up front, or we make our money, I should say, right, is there are fees involved, right? So you probably hear about assets under management fee, acquisition fees. If you've ever purchased any kind of real estate, you probably paid your realtor some fees, maybe you paid some brokerage fees, and nobody likes to pay fees. We hear that term and we automatically think it's something negative, right? Like, oh man, why are you charging me for this? I don't want to pay any. I don't want to pay any fees. The interesting thing is, the reality is, when you're talking about investing in commercial real estate and being a limited partner or a passive investor, believe it or not, you want the operators to charge you fees. You want them to charge you fees. If you think about the gravity of your investment, whether you're making, it's your first deal and you're putting in 25,000 or 5,000, whatever amount you're investing, this is your capital. You worked hard for it, right? And you're entrusting somebody else with that capital to be basically a steward of your money. That's not something you want someone to do for free. It's kind of like if you're painting your house and you call over your cousin and say, hey, come help me paint. And he does, I'll buy you a beer. And he shows up and he's kind of painting and he's taking cell phone breaks. He's out back smoking, just hanging out. He's doing that because you're not paying him, right? He's just doing you a favor. But if you hire someone to come paint your house and you actually pay them, now they obviously are taking it more seriously. You can make more demands on that person, right? Because you're paying them money for a service that they're performing for you. So when we talk about fees in commercial real estate, a lot of people may get scared off because they're like, oh wow, what is this acquisition fee here? Why do I have to pay that? What is this assets under management fee? Why do I have to pay that? Well, you want people to be compensated for their work, and really, when you get into the weeds of it, as I'm sure many do, you get to see how much work it goes into actually bringing a deal all the way to the finish line, right? It's a lot of many months of phone calls, many months of traveling, going to see properties, poring over documents and things like that. And obviously, we want people to be compensated for their hard work and for their time. That does not go to say that you should just be willing to pay any outrageous fee, or you shouldn't be paying attention to the fees. You want to make sure that you understand how the fees that you're paying are calculated and that you feel that it's a fair price, right? You don't want to be overcharged or taken advantage of by any fees that you're paying. So a key takeaway I would say is ask the question about the fee. So if you're paying a 2% acquisition fee, 2% of what? Is it 2% of the purchase price of the property, 2% of the raised equity of the property, 2% of the committed equity? Because of the nature of the business, the fee could be 2% of anything, right? You have to read through the offer memorandum and the PPM to understand what the fees are. The same thing for assets under management, right? Is it going to be based on the current value of the property, the purchase price of the property? Is it based on the operating income, the gross income, the net income? These are things you want to pay attention to. While you may be willing to pay a fee, and it's a good idea to compensate people, again, you want to make sure that you understand how these fees are being calculated so that you can get comfortable with it. The fee is a good thing, but you want to be able to be comfortable and knowledgeable about what you're paying for and basically what you're getting for that service. So don't run away from fees. Fees are not a bad thing, but take the time to ask the questions and understand how those fees are calculated.